Conant versus Amber McHenry, case number 24 TRD 819.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my stuff situated so it's ready here.
Take a seat
I have a question.
in this blue chair.
Do I have the
Sit down.
Do I have the same rights?
You want me to hold you in contempt? Sit down in that blue chair.
Do I have the
Sit
same
down.
rights there?
One more time. Sit down. Now you'll answer my questions. Got it? Did you understand all of the rights and plea options that I explained to you?
No, I do not understand.
Okay. Then I will enter no plea to the charges
I object.
filed against you. Well, let me just explain to you. You are charged, and I do have a signature on the citation which shows you've been served. You are charged with one count of no operator's license, a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 plus court costs. You also are charged with one count of expired plates, also a minor misdemeanor subject to a maximum fine of $150 in court costs. I will enter no plea to these charges against you. You already have a pending. You already have a pending.
I object.
What do you object, ma'am?
Because I did not enter that plea.
Okay, so you tell me how you would like the plea: guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
I'm not. First, I have to correct the standing, which is I am not the ens legis non degear. I am the authorized agent to the decedent estate. I am coming in here.
All right, buckle up, folks. We got an absolute train wreck of a courtroom showdown today. On one side, a sovereign citizen who's about as confused as a GPS with no signal. And on the other, a judge trying not to lose his mind. The first of our two defendants is *Amber Estate, whatever that means. What does this all mean? Well, we're about to dive into some seriously wild conspiracy theory territory where legal logic takes a back seat to fantasy. And then there's Eric Martin, a repeat offender who's back in court after a botched bond violation and a whole lot of "I don't recognize your jurisdiction" drama. It's about to get real messy, so stay tuned as we watch these legal rebels try and outsmart the system. Spoiler alert, it never works. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this.
Of what I want to do, which is to settle the case. I am willing to surrender the person to the court for mutual consideration. I do not want to continue doing this. I don't have anything to do with this. That paper that I signed, which is the summons, is signed v coatis, which is void contract, and I reserved all of my rights on there. So, is the court willing to give me mutual consideration today or not?
I will enter no plea on your behalf to these charges. I've given you 3 plea options to plead.
No, I do not recognize anyone in this court.
Okay, well,
I don't recognize you or the bailiff or anybody else in this court. I do not understand.
I will set this case for a bench trial, and
no,
we'll get this set.
I have the right to a trial by jury.
Okay, no, you don't. Not in this case.
Yes.
Now, these are not jailable offenses, ma'am. You don't have a right to a trial by jury in this case. You already have a jury trial scheduled in another case, but then because you're facing jail time in that case. But in this case, you're not facing jail time, only a fine and court costs.
Anything that is above $25 in a court of law has the right to a jury by trial, which is involuntary. Involuntary can't be violated, basically, is what it means. So I have the right to a jury by trial.
No, you don't.
Of my peers.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
We're going to set it for trial, and you're going to go to the clerk's window, and they're going to give you a trial date. Okay? So
Then I'm just going to surrender the person to the court because I'm not coming back.
I don't know what that means.
You do know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I am not the ens legis, non de guerre. I told you
That,
that.
I don't know what that means either, ma'am. I've been practicing law for 36 years, and
Here's where things start to get ridiculous. Amber, sitting there acting like the judge, is somehow going to just let her declare herself a legal expert by tossing out legal jargon like, I'm the settler, and this is void contract. I mean, who does she think she's talking to? That's a big claim to make in a court, especially when you can't even get the chair right. Look at that. She's already trying to rebel against the court's authority by claiming ignorance. Yet she's the one who filled out the paperwork. What a mess. You can't just throw words at a judge and hope it sticks.
contempt of court.
With what contract?
There is no contract.
I know there's not.
You're looking at the contract. You're looking at the one who's going to be able to, has the authority to be able to put you in jail and I'll hold you in contempt. So let me say it one last time because we have other cases to handle today. If you don't leave the courtroom and go to the clerk's window and get a trial date, which is what I'm scheduling in this case, I will hold you in contempt of court and I'll have you arrested.
So, contempt of court for what? What contempt?
For not doing what I'm telling you to do, which is to go to the clerk's window and to get a trial date.
You're the trustee and I'm the beneficiary.
No, there is no trust relationship here.
No, there isn't.
I've drafted many trusts, and there is no trust relationship between the judge and you, the defendant.
Yeah, because
You are not the beneficiary, and nor am I the trustee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just not.
Here's where we start hitting the crazy button. Amber just hit us with, I reserve all of my rights. Classic sovereign citizen move. Listen, saying you're reserving rights doesn't magically make you immune from the law. She's trying to play a legal loophole game, but what she's really doing is wasting everyone's time, especially those kids sitting in the courtroom, getting a front row seat to the mess. You can tell the judge is getting real tired of her nonsense. He's offering her options, and what does she do? Throw a tantrum about jurisdiction. You can almost hear the "here we go again" in his voice.
SM, the people versus Eric Martin. Mr. Martin, can you tell me your name?
How much Roman cystic if that's what you're wondering.
Okay, I recognize Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, it's my understanding that Mr. Coots, an attorney, defense attorney, attempted to meet with you to go over your rights and that you did not want to meet with him. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Well, at first I did, and then I kind of changed my mind. I'm still in the sense of not giving you guys the fraudulent.
And there it is. I do not recognize this court. Well, guess what? The court doesn't recognize you, Amber. This is where it gets real interesting because she's refusing to engage with reality, and the judge knows it. At this point, it's not about justice anymore. It's about trying to shut this whole circus down. Amber's out here claiming she's surrendering the person. What? The judge is already warning her about contempt of court, and she's still stuck in sovereign citizen delusion. Side note, anyone else feel like this might be the longest tantrum in courtroom history?
I'm going to mute you so I can tell you your rights, Mr. Martin. I need you to listen. So here are your rights. You've been brought to court on an allegation of a bond violation. Specifically, you currently have a domestic violence case pending at this court in front of Judge Slavin. And on that case, the complainant is Kirk Martin. There was a no contact provision. And that was one of the conditions of bond. And there is an allegation that on December 14th, so just this weekend, that someone called from the residence of Kirk Martin and indicated you were in the home. And the officers alleged that you were, that they checked and that you had bond conditions out of this court saying you weren't to be near him. And that you were taken into custody. for violating your bond conditions of no contact with Kirk Martin. These are allegations at this time, but they're serious allegations in violation and no contact provision. So do you want me to enter a plea, or do you just want to ramble about jurisdiction? I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can answer my question. Officer Ziegler, I'm sorry, can you unmute? Mr. Martin, you have options, so you understand that's what you're here on. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or you can say nothing and I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. So to the allegations that you violated the conditions of your bond for purposes of arraignment, how do you plead?
First, I want to notify of crimes. Before I get to that, I want to notify of crimes committed against me in the jail here since I've been here, such as criminal harassment.
Okay, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf.
I'm not done talking.
But your answer is not responsive.
Violating my First Amendment right, freedom of speech. And this whole bond order condition, it violates my due process right to be free at my house, which is based on an unsupported lying allegation by—
I have to pause here for a second. This is a textbook case of a sovereign citizen arguing nonsense, as if the judge should just accept it. The whole trustee and beneficiary line is so convoluted, it's practically a bad joke. There is no trust between her and the court, but she's acting like there's some cosmic agreement that we're all missing. The judge, in his 36 years of law experience, is probably having a silent breakdown trying to follow her logic. And yet, he still has to pretend to entertain it. How frustrating must that be?
You have a right to plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute. I've entered a not guilty plea on your behalf since your response was non-responsive. You also have a right to contest the charges at a hearing, and you do have the right to the assistance of an attorney at all subsequent court proceedings, and you can change your mind at any time, Mr. Martin. You have the right to have that a lawyer appointed at public expense if you are unable to afford an attorney. And it's always possible that if the court determined you were able to pay, that you would be required to contribute to that cost. If you continue to proceed without an attorney, you would give up your right to a lawyer's assistance. We will set the hearing. I'm required to set that hearing on that violation. If you are in custody, we must hold it within 14 days of the arraignment, which is 14 days from today, or the court must order you released pending that hearing. If the alleged violation is based on a new criminal offense, that is basis for separate criminal prosecution, I don't have any knowledge that that's the case here. The court could postpone the hearing for the outcome of that prosecution. You have a right to contest the allegations against you. You would have a right to have the evidence against you disclosed. You'd have the right to present at the hearing, or to be present to present evidence, and to examine and cross-examine witnesses. The court would only consider evidence that's relevant to the violation, but it need not apply the rules of evidence except those pertaining to privilege. The prosecuting attorney would have the burden of proving the violation by a preponderance of the evidence. If you pled guilty, you'd be giving up your right to a contested hearing. And while this case is pending, you could be, the most severe violation is you could be held pending the hearing, and if found guilty of this violation, you could be held while this case is waiting for jury trial. So those are your rights, Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, I understand your sovereign arguments. I mean, it's fine. You can make them. I've heard them before. Everyone at this court has heard them. But here's the thing. I can't have you, if there is a no contact order and you continue to violate.
Of course, Now we got a little family drama thrown into the mix with Amber's hobbit-sized Neenderkin. What a great visual. The judge is ready to wrap up this show, and she's still trying to derail the whole thing with legal gobbledygook. Let's be real here. There's no way this person is getting anywhere with this "I'm not the person in question" routine. It's almost like watching someone try to navigate the real world with their head in the clouds. Newsflash, courts don't operate like fairy tales. But hey, this is the kind of chaos we signed up for in this wild astro.
Okay.
And deprives you of the liberty right to be at home because of an unsupported lying allegation. I'm telling you right now, he told a lie. And I told the prosecutor my brother assaulted me in actuality. First and foremost, he assaulted me. But I have no evidence of it. I don't have him on video evidence. He doesn't have me on video evidence assaulting him. So we have my brother saying this, me saying this. We don't know what happened in reality. So the dumb cop should never arrest me. Prosecutors should not be moving forward on this. They're moving forward with it. It's already a malicious prosecution on the prosecutor's part. There's no probable cause because there's no evidence here. Bottom line, we don't know what happened. This is violating my due process rights. I'm being deprived of my freedom to be at the house I've been living at for 32 years. The bond order was legally should have been never been ordered because it's based on, once again, unsupported lying allegation that has no video evidence, no real evidence to support it. The bond order must be dismissed. I'm supposed to be allowed to go back home where I have a right to be. Doesn't matter how many lies
Okay,
I'm told.
let me tell you your bond conditions, Mr. Martin. You're to appear in court as directed. All right, I'll mute you and read them, whether you like them or not. These are your conditions, sir. So I'll just read them into the record and you can choose to listen or not listen. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number, whether you like it or not.
All right, we're about to head into the final stretch of this courtroom disaster, and Amber's still not getting it. The judge is giving her a final chance to follow the basic rules. Go to the clerk's window and get a trial date. But no, she's still throwing out nonsense like there's no contract trying to rewrite reality. It's honestly impressive how many ways she's managed to avoid the simplest thing she needs to do: follow the court's orders. And as for the kids in the courtroom, I bet